Hello again, everyone. For here, Flo out of Portland. Welcome back to the Flo Show. We got ourselves a little frequently asked question mini series here. We're on a roll. It's going to be a little bit of a ramble here. We're going to talk about emergency roof repairs, emergency services as it relates to your roof. So, in the commercial space, there's a conversation between vendors, board members, decision makers, facility managers, property managers about availability. And there is a capacity conversation around that availability. To be able to do quick dispatch emergency services requires additional personnel, additional hours of operation so that you can react to an issue quick enough to prevent additional property damage. At least in the roofing space, this is something I don't know, because I'm not a landscaper. I know plumbers do this. I know there's even electricians that do it. There's more than likely also some HVAC companies that have 24-hour service. Excuse me. I don't believe, first off, we have never dealt or tried to do 24-hour service, but we have done late hours and weekend availability on emergency requests. And there was a weekend where, and I mean, this was eye-opening because we had our first fall where we had done this extended hours, and then I was like, okay, you know what the hell I think it was like February, like maybe just a couple months ago. It's now at the beginning of April and it is ripping by. We decided to do weekend availability, just 8 to 5, right? And I was on the call. I was answering phone calls, and raining sideways, as it does here in Portland, and dispatching crews that I had made available. And I said, give me 2 trucks, and it was a Saturday. Raining sideways, and keep in mind, too, like, this is always surprising to me, that issues keep arising, right? And this is where I talk to folks about, like, degrees of a burn. There are degrees of leaks. So leaks will show themselves through different conditions. And with the different degrees of leaks, I don't rate them like, it's a first degree leak, it's, you could, I guess, but there's questions that I ask during those onboarding calls that give me the indicators of what I need to know and how to dispatch my team. So when I'm on the phone at those times, and this was an experiment this Saturday, well, I'm asking, okay, what's the property type, residential, commercial, multifamily? What's the height of the building? What's the material type on the roof? Do you know? Where do you think the leak maybe come from? Is it in the kitchen? Is it in the bathroom? No, it's in the skylight. No, it's in a valley, right? No, it's around the chimney, right? There's these indicators that help let us know about where things are happening. If it's a bathroom or a kitchen, more than likely it's going to be a stem vent, or it could be a flapper vent from a fan, etc. So I'm keying in on trying to make sure that the crews are steered towards the right direction. And east side, west side, north side, south side, right? Getting all the details possible so they can be prepared to be able to solve the problem right then and there. We are, at that time when we're dispatching, we are getting in a position to stop the bleeding, right? We want to get in there, take pictures, solve the problem, just by mitigating water intrusion any further. We're not there to fix the problem. If it's raining sideways, in this situation on a Saturday, we are moving from one property to the next. And so this one Saturday, there were 30 calls, okay? I was like a little flabbergasted that that one Saturday, and mind you, like, I was kind of really messing up the website. I thought I was being fancy, and so I built the website myself, which is not a brag. There we go. Excuse me. I had put at almost before my sister jumped in. Okay, before my sister jumped in, I have probably about 160-ish hours into building the website. I never wanted to give that control away, because there were stories out there in the roofing industry of agencies owning the website and then renting it back to you. I was like, no. So jumped on the platform, made it really simple, and started diving in. That creative process of building the website is what I believe has contributed to helping get us where we're going. We're not where we want to be at all, and it's always going to be a continued growth in flowing towards where we want to grow. But the website was good enough, even 6 months ago, to the point to getting someone on the phone and saying, hey, I've got an issue. I found you on Google, and I want to know, when can you get out here, right? Emergency situation. So first question I'm saying is, one, how'd you find us? Always want that feedback. Two, give me your state of urgency, not state of emergency. Give me your state of urgency. Give me 0 to 10. Tell me, how much are you freaking out? I want to know, cool, this is actually an ongoing issue you've known about for the last months, or if not years. You're just looking to have it taken care of. That's a low degree of urgency. Whereas it may be a property manager who's dealing with an active issue on any one of their properties, is saying, when can you get out there? We need it done yesterday. That is a higher degree of urgency. And you can take it even a step further, because there might be like a facility guy or a commercial, even a property owner. We had an individual come through who just reacquired their portfolio from the property manager and wanted to do the self-performing property management, to take it in-house, which was understood, but he needed a quality relationship. Take a look at his roof. And so we go through there and just boom, 3 issues. One property, there's a lot of buildings on the property, so we're dealing with all these things that the property manager wasn't handling properly. But the degree of urgency, from an ownership standpoint, it's costing them money. It's costing them their own sanity. Property management is not easy. You've got hundreds of requests, depending on the property size, in a relatively short amount of time, not necessarily all relating to the roof, but we're talking about like just everything to do with maintenance of these buildings at scale. When you're talking about hundreds of doors on a property, it can be overwhelming if you don't have the right infrastructure, if you don't have the right team, or if the right individuals that are understanding the systems to address everything systematically. And so that's where it takes a capacity conversation around those types of relationships, because when someone jingles in saying, hey, I've got multiple properties, or I've got a portfolio I want you to take care of, or help look at some of these different details on these different buildings, they're coming through and they're judging, like they should, about whether or not we can handle the situation, big or small. And so at least in the Portland market, we've structured ourselves to be repair capable, maintenance focused, restoration able, and with the capacity to do replacements when it's appropriate. So the replacement aspect is a kind of a last resort conversation. We want to see what we can do to try to get this thing by. Put some Band-Aids on it, make sure we can stand by a warranty, in the situations where it's a single layer. So flat roofs can have multiple layers, okay? We've seen up to 5+ layers. At that point, you're going back decades worth of roofs. You're going to have to get asbestos tests or something like that. You cannot take ownership of previous workmanship. Does that make sense? Where people have expectations that you can fix anything. You can't know what you can't see. And even if you get a core sample and there's multiple layers, then you don't know why they have multiple layers. Maybe they're covering up previous workmanship related issues. So Portland loves getting, or in the past, I don't know, we're trying to change this for everyone, but Portland loves slapping multiple layers on roofs, right? It's a lazy way to do it. And there's a lot of, I feel like, previous contractors who would go through and in a state of maybe either desperation or lack of experience, They're trying to get the job. They're going to say whatever they need to, and a homeowner, a property owner is going to see their price versus someone who's doing things by the book the right way in the industry, and they're going to go with the, like, you can't compare the two because they're not the same. We say, people, feel free to send in an apples to apples proposal to Flow, and we'll take a look at it for you. It's what we do every day to make sure that people are getting the right value for the project, whether it's a repair, a restoration, or replacement. We understand that everyone deserves the opportunity to shop to get the best value they're getting, but just because it's the lowest price doesn't mean you're actually getting the complete picture of what that scope or that project's going to take. Okay? And having given my team the feedback and the benefit of this last 8-year journey about what I've seen go right and wrong, we're asking these questions to try to help prevent you from falling into the trap of looking at that low price and trusting the individual who tells you exactly what you want to hear at the time to help make you feel like you've got the comfort to make the decision, which is a lot of the reason why you get negative vibes from people that try to give you the same day solution approach in roofing, which is a huge red flag. There's a commission structure, scripted roofing experience that everyone probably knows about, has heard about, that has felt in one way or another when someone is trying to push something on you that you don't necessarily want or not ready to make the decision for. It's high pressure sales. It's not comfortable. It's not cool. I've heard people just say, "Get the hell out of my house." I get that. We don't do that at Flow. We try to give people the best educated experience in the front end so that people can make a better value-based decision on the information they have without requiring an upfront investment, in the way that we're going to tell you exactly what you don't want to hear so that you can know exactly how to move forward. And then anyone else who tries to fluff up your situation to try to make you feel better is going to hopefully come across as not nearly as genuine, because they're not telling you exactly what you need to hear, which is not always the best news, that you might need plywood, or you might have access issues, or you do have multiple layers, because we get up on the roof and we check these details. So emergency situations, we kind of went off on a tangent there. That Saturday, we got over 30 calls. I'm like sitting here, like pencils literally burning a hole in the paper. I'm like, one after another. Hey, what's your name? For all here, Flow Roofing. Talking about, okay, got a leak. Okay, no, what can we do for you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We talk about all our different questions. Try to lighten the mood a little bit. Let them know, hey, we'll take care of this. We'll make sure we're there for you. And appreciate the consideration of calling. That was eye-opening. And quick dispatch emergency service on commercial, multifamily, HOA, and anything residential has an added value that I think a lot of companies are not prepared for and are thinking about and or structured to respond to. You look at these companies that are the I almost slipped. They are the companies that will do these same day sales techniques. Is your wife going to be home, sir? Is your husband going to be there with you? I'd like to sit down after my inspection to talk to you about what I found on your roof. And how do you plan on paying for this project, ma'am or sir? Fucking bullshit. Excuse my French. Like, automatic sales breath. Get out of here, right? You're not trying to help whatsoever. You're trying to sell. That person's on commission. Anyway, those companies are not structured, and this is a broad statement, I could be absolutely wrong. They're not structured to do small repairs. They're not structured to do the small things well, to be there for you in a place when you're just trying to wait. There's a whole slew of customers that always come through in the spring that waited the year before we got some people that are coming out of the woodworks from 23 earlier saying, hey, we waited to do our roof. Like you'd said, we got some extra life left in it. We're looking to shop now. We're now ready in 2026. So maybe those people had waited and they rolled the dice too much, or they were in another situation where they just weren't financially ready to create the solution that was in their best interest. And so there's a lot of people that delayed, they procrastinate on their solution that they need, and they are the ones that are generally going to be surprised with why they have an issue. They're not always the ones who are on top of their maintenance, their preventative maintenance, to be on top of the issues before they happen. And this is where roofing gets expensive, is that you're not just paying to fix the roof, and hopefully you're paying to do a warrantable solution, but you're also paying for the interior damage of the procrastination. And granted, most drywall, lath, and plaster repairs, you're going to be somewhere probably between $500 and $2,000, depending on the damage, right? It can be significantly more if it's an ongoing issue and there's significant dry rot. Broad statement again, but most interior repairs I've seen, $500 to $2,500. Touch up paint, drywall, lath, and plaster, whatever it goes. If it goes bigger, it can be more, right? Excuse me. So, preventing those issues is why we call it preventative maintenance, because we're on top of the issues before they happen. And so emergency dispatch response is going to be a formula of capacity. The company's structure tells you a lot about what the company values in a customer experience by trying to be there to be able to do the small things well. I know that I'm going to be hiring at least 2 more repair techs here. And it's spring, it's late spring, it's April, right? We're still knocking out repairs almost every day. And we have our guys doing maintenance when it's not repairs that they have to worry about, and or helping with larger projects to make sure that they can do the dance and how we flow. But it's wild to think that people think that they'll save by not acting sooner in roofing when roofs are not getting any cheaper. Now you have gas going to $6 a gallon. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The next best time is today, right? It's the same thing with your damn roof. Get your roof taken care of sooner than later. Don't put off the issues. It's going to continue to grow. I was just in an attic yesterday. Mold everywhere, organic growth everywhere. Could have been prevented had they done a preventative maintenance scheduled inspection to try to be on top of the issue before it grew. And there's a big so that's when repairs can get even bigger. As you're talking about remediation, talking about abatement situations, it can grow exponentially, and no one wants to be in those situations when they could have been on top of it sooner. So tarpings is a great way to stop the bleeding. And then from there, you can go through and do targeted repairs. In our situation, we don't do targeted repairs on anything but a single layer, because we want to take accountability and put a warranty on the repair itself. And that repair will have an initial cost, but it's a fraction of the cost of replacement. And just because you have a leak doesn't mean the roof is shot. It means you may have to put a little bit of work into it, elbow grease, like you have to change the oil on your car. You have to do maintenance to get the best lifespan out of the system. Vehicles require ongoing maintenance. Your roof requires ongoing maintenance. And so if I can't get more than at one point out there to jump on making sure that you check your roof out in this fall and spring to make sure you don't have to worry about anything moving forward. Flow gives you free inspections so that you can rest assured that your asset is protected from the top down, and when you flow with us, the inside out. So that's my ramble for the morning, and got to work on some details with some work orders. We'll catch you on the next one. Ciao.